The NFL's Most Valuable Player Award was introduced in 1957. Since when, it's been won by a quarterback 47 times. Running backs have won it 18 times, and twice has it gone to a defensive player. But just once, in its long history, a different player was awarded MVP. This is his story, and also why it will never happen again. Selected with the 346th pick of the 1970 draft, kicker Mark Moseley played for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Oilers. In 1974, he eventually established himself as one of the NFL's most reliable kickers after joining the Washington Redskins. But going into the 1982 season, Moseley's technique was considered outdated. While most kickers had adopted an angled run-up style, Moseley still used a straight-on approach, and his job with Washington was in jeopardy. However, after outperforming rookie kicker Dan Miller during pre-season, Moseley embarked upon a career-defining campaign. A 57-day players' strike brought the 1982 season to a halt after just 2 weeks of games. The usual 16-game schedule was reduced to 9 games, and the playoffs were expanded into a 16-team bracket. Continuing a streak that had begun the previous year, Moseley set an NFL record by successfully converting 23 field goals in a row. That season, he went on to make 20 of his 21 field goals, with his 92.5% success rate setting another NFL record. And Washington finished this most irregular of seasons with an 8-1 record. And in a strike-shortened season with no standout candidates, Moseley's MVP case grew stronger as Washington progressed through the playoffs. Shortly after his team booked a place in Super Bowl 17, Moseley was crowned the first and only kicker to be named MVP. He then scored 2 field goals and converted 3 extra points to help Washington beat the Miami Dolphins 27-17 to claim the franchise's first ever Super Bowl. "I guess my MVP award was just one that you had to be there to appreciate," Moseley told CNN in 2023. Now, not only is it unlikely that a kicker will ever win MVP again, but the award has been won exclusively by quarterbacks for more than a decade now. It's a trend that's not likely to change, and really, nor should it. The last non-quarterback to win MVP was Adrian Peterson. In the 2012 season, the Minnesota Vikings running back scored 12 touchdowns and rushed for a total of 2,097 yards, just 5 shy of the all-time NFL record. And with just 2 other non-quarterbacks named MVP since the year 2000, it has typically taken a historically outstanding level of production for any player other than a quarterback to win the award. And even that is often not enough. In 2014, Houston Texans defensive end and current Burnley FC minority owner J.J. Watt put together arguably the strongest case since Peterson to be a non-quarterback MVP. The 3-time Defensive Player of the Year recorded a league-high 20.5 sacks, plus 5 fumble recoveries and 1 interception, which he returned for an 80-yard touchdown. Watt even caught 3 touchdowns as a receiver that year and was named to the All-Pro team at 2 different positions. And yet it still wasn't enough to see him become the first defensive player to win MVP since 1986, with the award instead going to Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. And Watt himself admitted that he shouldn't have been MVP. The honest truth is that it's physically impossible for any one player to be more valuable than the quarterback, he wrote on Twitter. They touch the ball every single play. A quarterback should always win MVP. Best player and MVP are often, but not always, the same. The reason the MVP is, and will remain, an award almost exclusively for quarterbacks is, as Watt points out, due to the notion of value. No player affects the game, for better or worse, as much as a quarterback. In the simplest terms, almost every play begins with the ball in their hands. And moreover, they must assess the opposing defense's strategy ahead of the snap and make changes to the play if necessary. As such, a high-quality quarterback play is more valuable than high-quality play in any other position. Now, this is not only reflected in the ballots of the 50 selected media members who vote on the MVP award, but also in how NFL players are paid. With a new contract signed early in the 2024 season, Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys became the NFL's highest paid quarterback, with a yearly salary of $60 million. That's a full $25 million more than the highest earning non-quarterback, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson, whose deal sees him pocket $35 million per year. Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers was the highest paid running back for the 24 season at $19 million, a figure more than tripled by the top quarterback. And as J.J. Watt pointed out when conceding that he should not have won the MVP award in 2014, the NFL's most valuable player in a given season is not necessarily the league's best player. A key example of this distinction came in 2016, when Atlanta Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan won his first and only MVP. Now, while few would have rated Ryan a better signal caller than the likes of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers at the time, voters recognized his value to a Falcons team that had led to an 11-5 regular season record while throwing for 4,944 yards and 38 touchdowns. Many of the game's greats have stocked their personal trophy cabinets with multiple MVP awards. But as important as quarterbacks are to their team, having an MVP running the show is not in itself a guarantee of success. Of all the quarterbacks to have been named MVP this century, only Patrick Mahomes has gone on to win a Super Bowl in the same season.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to the best team of sports writers, reporters, and analysts in the world, offering exclusive stories and unrivaled insight. You could try The Athletic for free for 30 days by clicking the link in the description.